The middleweight champion of the UFC is doing mental gymnastics before making his first title defense. Alex Pereira shared a sparring video on Instagram to illustrate how his training has gone thus far, in advance of his rematch with longtime foe Israel Adesanya. Although the video shows nothing unusual apart from that poor man getting ripped up in body shots, the caption written by Poatan paints a different picture. The Brazilian wrote Adesanya's birth date there along with a star emoji, followed by the date of their rematch along with a coffin emoji. Adesanya would want to check whether everything's in order before UFC 287. Pereira 7-1 will attempt to defeat Adesanya for a second bout in the octagon after doing it twice in his kickboxing career. This would extend his winning streak to 5 matches. The 35-year-old overcame Andrius Michailidis, Bruno Silva, and Sean Strickland before defeating the last stylebender. On April 8th, Pereira and Adesanya are anticipated to square off in the main event of UFC 287. Miami, Florida is where the card is expected to be played. A top contender welterweight fight between Gilbert Burns and Kevin Johnson will take place alongside the main middleweight event. After watching this video and looking what the caption had to say, Adesanya wouldn't sit back and observe. He had some thoughts that he had to get out there. Adesanya believes UFC 287 is his last chance to win back the middleweight title, since it marks the 4th chapter of his overall rivalry with Pereira. "I'm hunting, and I mean that in every sense of the word," Adesanya said on his YouTube channel. "The mindset is different. Even coach Eugene Behrman and I are on the same page. The mindset is different. I like it because it puts it all on me, and it's kind of poetic in a way," he concluded. "One life, roll the dice. This is my last shot, and I'll give it all I've got in every sense of the word." Adesanya's outstanding 25-fight MMA career has had just 2 losses, the second coming against Pereira in November 2022, his first at middleweight. Brazilian fighter Pereira quickly rocketed to the top of the category, winning his first 3 UFC fights in less than a year to earn a crack at the title. Except for his debut in October 2015 against Kamel Otten, the defending champion has a perfect record through 8 fights. We'll get to know who comes out on top between the two when they face off in less than a week. According to UFC President Dana White, Colby Covington will be the opponent for Leon Edwards' upcoming title defense. After successfully defending his UFC welterweight title against Kamaru Usman at the O2 Arena on Saturday night, Edwards made history. After 5 rounds of combat, the British fighter prevailed, earning favorable scores from the 3 judges of 48-46, 48-46, and 47-47. Colby Chaos Covington, who was ready to step in as the backup fighter for the main event, was among the famous people and UFC fighters there that night. And following the completion of the card, firm President White opined that the American would be the following in line for a title shot. When asked on Saturday night if he was amenable to Covington receiving the next championship shot, White responded, "Yes, that's the fight that makes sense. Colby Covington earned the fight because he came here, lost weight, and was prepared." If anyone got a little worked up over these comments from White, that person is Jorge Masvidal. He told the MMA Hour, "I love Dana, but Dana says many things, man. History says one thing. Whoever makes the most noise when they fight, whoever sells the most pay-per-views, and whoever fans want to see at the end of the day, that's who will get the title shot." On top of that, as I recall, champions have always called the shots, and Colby's only a champion of calling the cops. That bitch pussy-ass motherfucker. So I'm just gonna continue to do me. I'm gonna go out there and break fucking Gilbert's face. Then Leon will call my name out, and I'll fight Leon for this belt, and that's it. Colby can just sit in his timeout box until they call his ass up to fight me again. Masvidal and Covington already share a heated history between them. Last month, Masvidal was accused of assaulting Covington outside a Miami Beach restaurant. He was later detained and charged with various felonies, including aggravated battery and criminal mischief. Masvidal recently told ESPN Deportes, "I'm not gonna let anyone disrespect my family." The matter has not yet gone to trial. Masvidal was questioned over his lengthy absence in February of this year, to which he said, "Injuries and felonies and lawsuits and a bunch of crazy shit. I didn't want to go into a fight with all this outside fucking bullshit on my head. Not having so many clouds over my fucking head before I step in that ring, I don't want to be fighting with a gun to my head facing all these charges that I got going on. This bullshit that I got going on. Even though Dana White is on track to give Colby Covington a shot at the title at UFC 287 next month, Jorge Masvidal anticipates Leon Edwards to call him out if he defeats Gilbert Burns. Dana White doesn't welcome Masvidal's comments. We expect White to come out with a statement in due time. Even though he's the one who's responsible for organizing all the fights, there are times when fighters tend to go a little overboard when talking about White. As for Covington, this is a chance he will only be getting quickly, so he must make it worthwhile. For many fighters, such a shot only comes around in a blue moon, so not being ready isn't even an option right now. That's all we had for this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video to experience all new videos from our channel. We'll be seeing you again with more UFC content very soon.